Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. HEB, the official grocer of Baylor Athletics. Proudly serving Texans since 1905. Rudy's Barbecue, the home of real Texas barbecue. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Baylor Bears, John Morris.
And hi and welcome. It's the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. We are live at Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Thanks to those of you that are here. Thanks to those of you listening on our flagship station in Waco. Those of you listening online and those of you watching the Baylor Athletics YouTube stream. And folks, join me in welcoming our leadoff guest tonight, Baylor soccer coach Michelle Lenard. Welcome to you.
Thanks, John. Happy to be here.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. I think I've told you 4 times already. Thanks for being here. But you got a big week ahead. You got a match tomorrow night, a big one, another one on Sunday. But thanks for making time in your schedule.
It's on my way home. Works out great.
Stop by here, get a little food,
Yes,
and
the family fed.
That is very nice. Well, this is a big week for you, isn't it? Final
Yes.
2 home games of
right.
the year.
Yeah, it's a big week. We've got senior night tomorrow night, so obviously an exciting opportunity to honor those kids. And then these 2 games, our last 2 home games of the season, last 2 conference home games especially important. So hoping to finish out the season on a high note. Yeah.
Well, tell us about senior night. How do you handle senior night?
I've been doing this a long time, so it's always a special night. It's emotional. I mean, we have a lot of history between our coaching staff and our team and our seniors, but really proud of them and enjoy watching them have this experience, have the opportunity to reflect on their numerous years here at Baylor. Some of them have been here for 4, some were transfers and have been here for less, but just an opportunity to reflect on that and kind of honor them, hopefully, with the way that we play and get an opportunity to make the game a little bit more about them than it normally might be. So we're excited for the girls.
That's nice. You're 3rd year here, but you've got some seniors that have been with you longer than that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we've got 3 seniors who were here when I got here, so they're in their 4th year.
Okay.
We've got one, Marissa Gray, who came back, so this is her 2nd senior day. And then we've got 2 who transferred with me when I came, and so this is their 3rd year. But one of them is injured and will return next year, but she's going to go through senior day tomorrow just because it's her graduating class.
That's Blythe.
That's Blythe,
Okay. Yeah. And Ashley Merrill will be senior recognition. Do you do it pregame? Do you do it postgame? How do you handle that?
We do it after the game.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple things built into the 24 hours prior, so the team will do some things together tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
But we'll hold all the stuff till after the game.
Right. You, I'm sure, have a great appreciation for your seniors, and their leadership and what they provide to your team.
Absolutely. This group of seniors has had a big role in helping us transition the program to a different style of play and really kind of rebuilding the program around our vision for it. And so they've been through a little bit of a rocky road in the beginning, but have been awesome leaders to help us make that transition and lay the foundation for the future of Baylor soccer. They're all great players who have helped us elevate the level of the team, but more importantly, they're great people who are great examples of what it means to be a Baylor student, a Baylor student athlete. They're going to go into the world and they're going to do all kinds of cool things. They're just really special people, so we are very proud of them and really excited to hopefully continue their season if we can continue into the conference tournament and potentially even the NCAA tournament.
All right, right there, what has to happen? I mean, you win, you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, not assured, but you need to keep winning to get a spot first in the Big 12 tournament.
Right, yeah. So the automatic bid in the Big 12 goes to the conference tournament winner. So that's the one way to be sure. Get to the conference tournament, win the conference tournament, you get the automatic bid. The at-large bids are going to go to, after all the automatic bids go. And so we're in a good position right now with our RPI. I wouldn't say that we're safe, but we're a little bit on the bubble, but we're in a good position. And so I kind of think of it right now as we're like a runner who's run a really steady, solid race, and we need to have a good kick here at the end.
Yeah.
And if we can have a good kick here at the end and win the games that we should win, then not only will we be in the conference tournament, but I think our RPI will continue to improve. We have 2 teams left on our schedule ranked above us in the RPI, so an opportunity to beat those teams, potentially climb even higher. And I think we have a really good shot at even an at-large bid, even if we were not to win the Big 12 tournament. So it's all still right there in front of us, but we do need a good kick here at the end.
That's great motivation, isn't it, down the stretch?
It is, yeah.
Are you, last I saw was 40, right around 40 RPI?
We're 40 right now.
40, okay,
Yes.
sounds good. Can you make the NCAA tournament if you don't make the Big 12 tournament?
I think that is within the realm of possibility.
It's a possibility then, huh?
It could be, but I don't think we would.
Okay.
Because I think if we win the games we need to win to be in the Big 12 tournament, then I think we're in a better position.
Sure.
But if we don't, it'll affect our RPI. So I don't think, for us, it doesn't make a difference because we have 5 games left, and obviously we want to win them. So that's where our focus is. But I do think that it's one of those one-off. It could happen, but I think the safe bet is, we need to win 3 to 4 of our last 5.
Okay.
And that puts us in a good competitive position for an at-large bid, not a guarantee. And if we could run the table, then I think we're there.
Yeah, great. What's the overall RPI of our league this year? Do you know?
I don't know the average, no.
Okay.
I mean, right now
it's got to be pretty high.
It is. I mean, we've got BYU and West Virginia currently ahead of us. Tech, I think, jumped us by 1 spot after our recent result. TCU's ahead of us. So there's a number of teams in the conference Colorado and TCU both ahead of us in the RPI, who we both tied both those opponents just a week ago. And so, the Big 12 in general is competing at a really high level, and we'll probably have 5 to 6, if not more, teams make the NCAA tournament.
Wow, that's great. Can we talk about that week? Was that just last week when you went to Colorado?
Was it? Wow.
I know. How long ago has that been? I think it was just last week. But they were ranked 16th at the time.
Yes.
Came home with a 1-1 draw, which is tremendous. And came home and hosted TCU, which was ranked 22nd, and 1-1 draw with them also. I mean, that was a big week for you, even though they were both draws, not wins for you.
No, they're good results. Going to Colorado and playing at altitude and having to do that and then fly home and play at home on Sunday. TCU played at Houston, so they didn't have the same travel that we had. I was really proud of how our team played in Colorado in particular, because it's really tough to go up there and deal with the altitude, deal with the travel. We were playing a highly ranked opponent, and we played really well in that game, and we had our chances to come away with a win, and I thought it would have been very fair for us to win that game. Then to come home and play at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in the heat against TCU. So that was a tough game. We competed, and I thought earned a well-earned draw. I don't know that I could argue that we should have won the game, but I definitely feel like it was a fair result to get a tie. And so coming out of that weekend, probably our hardest weekend of the season, with 2 ties is really positive. Took a lot out of us and maybe kind of hung around a little bit going into Lubbock. So now we got to kind of shake that off and move into this weekend with some more confidence and assertiveness to take some wins away this weekend.
All right, very good. So this week, Arizona State is here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock senior night, as you mentioned. Then Sunday, your home finale is West Virginia.
Yes.
Is that 1 o'clock on Sunday or 2?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on Sunday. I mean, those are 2 big home opportunities for you.
They are, and that's exactly what we view them as opportunities. Arizona State has done well enough. I mean, our conference is super tight right now. There's hardly any difference between the top and the bottom, and so this weekend will really clear some of that up, I think. But they're going to be a tough opponent. They're well organized. They're well coached. They've had some decent results throughout the season, but I think it's a good matchup for us. I think that we've found some areas we think we can exploit them in, and some matchups that are going to go in our favor. So we're excited. The girls are really up for it, and then West Virginia on Sunday, again, kind of a similar situation. Like, they're a good opponent. They've had a really good season. I don't think they've had as strong of a schedule as we have, and I think that plays into our favor. But it's a good matchup. Tactically, it's a good matchup. We've got some areas where I feel like we've got the edge on them, and so we're looking to exploit those areas on Sunday.
Good. You have played a tough schedule this year.
Yeah,
so,
we have. Yeah,
I mean, you've been tested from day one, really, haven't you?
It's been a tough season, and our conference schedule is one of the hardest in the conference. And how they come up with the conference schedule is beyond me.
Lucky you.
I know. Yeah, we've had a really tough start, which is good because we have played some of the better teams right away. The teams that are ranked at the top of the conference, TCU, Colorado, and Tech, we've played all 3 of them already. And we tied, 1-0 loss, probably should have been a tie. And so we're right there competing with the top 3 teams in the conference. And so we just have to turn that into results against these other teams this last couple of weekends.
Good. So in the standings, help educate all of us, it's about points. You get 3 points for a win. You get 1 for a tie, correct?
Yes, that's right. So 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie. We do have a weird situation playing out this season where there was a game canceled because of weather and it wasn't made up. And so now it's a points per game. So you get all the points and they divide it by the number of games you've played. All the weather out on the East Coast has affected a lot of schools. And so I'm wondering if that's going to happen again over the next week with the hurricane that's coming in right now. So I'm not sure. But that's how it'll be determined, is by points.
Points per game?
Yeah, so if
I got you.
Yeah.
Sort of balances things out if you don't have the same number.
It has the potential to really mess somebody up somewhere.
Really?
So we're trying to get ourselves out of that situation where
Just
we're not
win.
the team. Yes, exactly. To be messed up by that.
Gotcha. Very good. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with more in a moment with Coach Michelle Lenard, Baylor Soccer. We're glad you're with us. It's the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. We're live at Rudy's in Waco, and we'll be right back after this.
Powerful, available iForce V6 engine means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. To your neighbor, it means helping them with their new chainsaw carving hobby.
What do you think of this thing, eh? It's a bearfish birdman wood carving, if I've ever seen one.
To your cousins, the Tundra means as they jump off the boat onto the sandbar.
Now watch this flip.
No, don't. You're gonna...
Cannonball!
Definitely nail it.
To your co-pilots, the Tundra means an extra comfortable journey.
I can just...
You sure can.
And to you, the Tundra means... whoa. Toyota is a proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Now this is a bare necessity. From tailgating to sailgating, the 2025 Tundra is built to take you wherever the road leads, on game day and beyond. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB Your Bank for Life. Member FDIC.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. We are live at Rudy's as we are each week. Rudy's a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics. I'm going to say proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget, Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. Thanks to our host at Rudy's. There's Mr. Scott Floyd right there, man with 2 first names. Give him a round of applause. We appreciate Scott and the hospitality. Crystal's back there. Josh is back there. And everyone, we appreciate Rudy's and their hospitality each and every week. We continue with Coach Michelle Lenard, Baylor Soccer. Step back and look at your season to this point. How would you describe your team and your season to this point in the year, still with some big games to go?
Yeah, I mean, taking the big picture into account, I think we're in a really good position. I think, the season ebbs and flows, and you have some mountains and some valleys, and you have to really be able to ride that out. And so looking back, we've got 2 really big wins that are going to really help us. We've got 2 really big ties. We've got some solid other wins in addition to that. We've got a lot of experience. We've played some really high-level teams, and so we've tested ourselves. We've been challenged. We've seen just about every scenario I think we could at this point in the season. So I feel really good about where we are. I feel confident that our team is prepared for this point in the season. We've got a lot of veteran players now who've been deep in a season before and understand what it takes to have the endurance at this point in the year and the focus and the clarity needed to get results here at the end of the year. So confident about where we are and feel really good, and we put ourselves in a good position, and now it's just a matter of having that strong kick like I mentioned before.
Yeah, that's great. In your 3rd year here, I mean, the trajectory just continues to rise. I mean, it's very evident how you're playing your style and just getting better each and every year, which is what you hope.
Absolutely. We've made progress. It's clear we're consistently getting better, and within this year I think we're getting better as well. And I don't think the results are always showing that, but hopefully that'll change here over the next couple of games. But the team has had a really good growth mindset throughout not just the last 3 years, but within this season. So we're getting better each week, and I'm seeing it at training. We had a good week at training this week. And so, yeah, we feel good about it, and we're definitely making progress, and now finish out the season.
There you go. Finish strong.
Yeah.
How do you like the new expanded Big 12? New schools last year and more new schools this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it. We got tough opponents for sure, and every game is difficult, and there is no soft game on our schedule anywhere. But I think it's good for the conference. I think it's good for women's soccer. It means every game is exciting, and you really got to get ramped up for it. And so it's challenging. It requires a lot of mental fortitude to deal with that week in and week out, and that's something that we've really challenged our players on. But I like it. I like the addition of the new programs, some good locations to travel to. And so I think it's been good for the conference, and it's going to help us. We'll get more teams into the NCAA tournament as a result.
Good, good. Well, you'd hope the strength of the league would pull more schools in. And you're going out to Utah next week, right, at BYU and at Utah next week?
Yes, yeah, that's that. And then after that, Iowa State.
Right.
So, but Utah's a big trip for us. Obviously, BYU gets a lot of people at their home events, and so that's going to be a big moment. But it'll be nicer weather. We've already played at altitude once this season, so we feel pretty equipped to do that. And we're better than we were last time we played them, and they graduated a lot of seniors. Almost their entire starting lineup graduated. And so we feel like that's a pretty good matchup for us as well.
Good. That's next week. Sorry to make you look ahead.
That's okay.
Got Arizona State and West Virginia before you get there. What about you've played so many close games this year. I think Houston you beat 4-1. But
4-0.
4-0, I'm sorry. But other than that, gosh, they've been tight. 1 or 2 goal differences.
Yeah, and I think it just shows the strength of the conference. And also, last year we were losing those games. And so we've made progress. TCU beat us 2-0 last year. This year we tied. And Tech beat us, I think, the same 2-0. And so we're getting some better results than we did last year. But the conference is really tough, and every week is like that. And it's not just our games. A lot of the games across the conference last week, a lot of teams tied. We weren't the only ones. So it can come down to one moment, one goal, one big play. But that's, the reality with a really high-level conference, and that's what we all want to have. And we just got to find ways to win.
That's what I was going to say, or leading into with a close game like that. I mean, it's one small thing sometimes, isn't it, that makes the difference?
The margins are really small.
Right.
It can be inches. You can play pretty consistently over the course of the game, and I mean that's what happened in the last game. Was they had their one chance and they scored it, and we didn't. And so, but we've been on the other side of that as well, and so we've got to come out there and find ways to win. And that's the next big growth step for our team is find that edge. Find that next level, like make things happen. Even if it's not perfect, find a way to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's where we're really challenging our team right now.
Good. Health-wise, you're late in the year. Are things good there?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a good position. Everybody's a little tired and sore, and you can have some kids that are a little banged up at this point in the year. But I think overall we've managed their load really well. They're fit. They're strong. Our trainers and our strength coaches do an excellent job of making sure that they're ready to go on game day. So right now, yes, we're healthy.
That's good news. All right, we got some questions from the audience. Let's take a break. We'll get to those when we come back. Michelle Lenard, our guest, Baylor soccer coach, will continue on the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank right after this.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cup Club, presented by Green Eye Associates, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today and sick 'em Bears.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Have you gone gold yet? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor bookstore at the upcoming Go Gold dates. To stay up to date on some golden opportunities, visit BaylorBears.com/GoGold. Go Gold and sick 'em Bears.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bank, Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. We mentioned our host at Rudy's, how much we appreciate them. Hey, they've got the pink cups here. If you're watching, you can see one right here. This is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Pink cups, you buy one of these, and a donation goes to breast cancer awareness from Rudy's. So come on in, plan to get one of those, and then you keep the pink cup and feel good about what you have done to contribute to that endeavor. So best of luck to Rudy's as you continue with the pink cups here in October. Continuing with Coach Michelle Lenard, Baylor soccer coach. We got some questions from the audience, okay? I didn't see any from that end of that table. I'm kind of surprised. You two guys, you can still get a question in. Just bring it up here, okay, if you'd like. It's your husband and your son. First from Bob Barrett. Bob is right there. Bob asked, who is your best defensive player?
That's a tough question because we do have – our defense in general has been really good this year. We've given up very few goals. Our goalkeeper has been outstanding, so I want to start with her and just give her tons of credit. She's kept us in some really tight matches and made some huge saves. But I think I really have to give the shout-out to Hallie Augustin. She's one of our twins that plays on the back line. Her sister plays in multiple positions, is really a utility player. But Hallie's been rock solid. I think she probably leads the conference or near leads the conference in blocked shots.
Wow.
And she also contributes a lot to our attack. She is who we play through. So like in other sports, you could think of her like a quarterback or a point guard. She gets on the ball and starts our attack all the time. So a lot of good players in the back line. Natalie Vatter has just been outstanding this year as well. So it's hard to pick one. But Hallie has been, I think, just the most consistent and played every minute of every game, which is why I'm going to give her the shout-out.
Wow. Every minute of every game.
Yeah.
That's great. And Azul has just been great in goal, hasn't she?
Azul's been amazing. Yeah. So can't take anything away from her. I mean, the whole back line as a whole, we need to score goals and help them out because they're doing just about everything that they can at this point.
Nice. Great question. Thank you, Bob. Here's a question from John Jackson. John's right here. Is there any clarity on scholarship limits for next year with the pending approval or with the approval of the NCAA rules this week?
Yeah, so I think obviously the preliminary approval of that means that everybody's going to have no limit, but it'll be a roster cap. The number for soccer is 28. Whether or not each institution is able to financially support 28 is going to be an institutional decision, and so we're waiting. And Baylor's working hard to give us some numbers. But we feel like Baylor's going to be very, very competitive in this area. While we don't have a final number yet, we are expecting an increase and one that will be very competitive with anybody in the country.
Good. Where do you think that might land? Where do you think that number might be?
I haven't been told a number, so I'm not sure I could say for sure.
Okay.
But, I think over 20 would be something I feel confident about. And then we'll see where it goes after that. I'm not really sure. There's so many pieces, that have to do with, like, Title IX. And all the other sports roster limits, so I'm glad I'm not in administration right now. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and the increased cost of increased scholarships also. I mean, you think about that, not just soccer, but every sport.
Yes.
Yeah, every sport is going to have an increase.
Every sport is, going to have an increase. Yeah. And so there's a lot for them to figure out, but Baylor is consistently on top of it, and I'm confident going to be very aggressive in this area, and we'll be competitive with everyone.
Yep, no question. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, question from Roy Evans. Roy is right here, front and center. What is your craziest recruiting story?
Wow. I've had some crazy recruiting trips. But actually the one that comes to mind is just because it's one of our current players is how Ashley Merrill ended up here at Baylor in the first place, or even playing for me in the first place. So years ago now, so many years ago, Blythe Obar committed to play at my previous institution as a freshman in high school. So she was 14, 15 years old, freshman, committed to play there, was committed for a couple of years. And I think the summer, maybe a year and a half before she arrived on campus, came to one of our camps in the summer, already committed, and just brought her friend with her who wasn't going to play college soccer. And so Ashley shows up with Blythe at camp, and I'm like, who is this kid? Why don't I know her? and she thought she was going to be done with soccer after high school. Played at the camp, was fantastic, and so of course I was like, what are you doing? Like, you got to play. And so was able to get her on campus for a visit and able to convince her to come and play for me initially at DBU. And then, obviously she's here now. And so looking back, she's in her 5th year because she was a freshman during COVID. And she can tell you herself, and that's a whole other story for another time, but she almost quit during that time too, just with the stress and anxiety around COVID. And so the fact that she's here in her 5th year, a captain on this team, one of the leading goal scorers, has been the whole 3 years she's been here, is really special. And she just showed up at my doorstep. So I wish that happened more often. Yeah. It doesn't ever, but in this case it did.
That's funny. It's like basketball coaches, you hear them say sometimes, always have somebody in the office over lunch hour. Yeah. You never know when a 7-footer is going to walk through the door.
You never know. I could use another one.
Yeah, exactly. What a great story. We did the Sikkim podcast with Ashley, and it was so fun. It was so great to visit with her.
She's got a great personality.
Yeah, very much so.
Very transparent person, so she's fun to interview.
Yeah, and senior night, she'll be recognized at senior night tomorrow night. All right, here's a question from Jared. Where's Jared in the room? There's Jared Brown. Do you adjust training during the season based on schedule, fitness level, etc.?
Yeah, we work really hard on managing load, and especially for our high-minute players. So we adjust it throughout. Every week we spend a lot of time, hours, preparing for practice, starting with our wellness survey, which our players do every day, then looking at their GPS data and all the science behind that, then looking at our upcoming opponent. And so we factor all of those things in. If we played, last week we only had 1 game against Tech, so this week we were able to get an extra day in for training, which was really nice. When we play 2 games a week, we have to be really, really smart about how we train. And so there's, I like to say it's a balance between science and art, because there's a lot of science behind it, but you got to have a feel as well for what your team needs at this point in the season. We adjust it constantly, and sometimes I'll plan a whole practice out, and then a couple of my players will walk in and give me some verbal feedback about how they're feeling, and we'll throw that out. And make adjustments last minute, because one time in the spring I was doing this. I thought we were overloaded and fatigued and needed a lighter day, and they came in and they were like, what are you doing? We want to play. And so I said, okay. So we dialed it up and had a more intense practice after that feedback.
Nice.
So,
Very good. Good question, Jared. Thank you. Here's a question from Bob Barrett. Bob asks, is NIL a big factor in soccer now?
It's becoming one, yes. It wasn't at first, and things are rapidly changing, especially with this, NCAA lawsuit and everything there. The scholarship limit change will really help us a lot, but NIL is a factor in soccer, and we're seeing it more and more. And one of the reasons is because a lot of the players have the opportunity to go off and play professionally, and so colleges are using it as a way to keep their kids here and graduating. So it's not nearly as much as it is in football and basketball, but it's significantly more important than it was just a year ago, and I think probably will continue to be so.
It's the way of the world these days, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's
in
the
college
reality
athletics.
of it, and I don't think we can walk that back. So
Gotcha.
It's the new world.
Gotcha. Well, thank you again for being here. Good luck this week. Arizona State tomorrow night,
Thank
West
you.
Virginia on Sunday. Last home games of the year for Baylor soccer, so come out to Betty Lou Mays Field and support Baylor soccer. Good luck wrapping things up.
Appreciate it. Thank you, John.
Coach Michelle Lenard with us. We'll take a break, top of the hour. Coach Scott Drew joins us when we come back. Stay with us. This is the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank.
This is David Wetzel, Executive Director of the Baylor Bee Association, inviting you to our 2024 Baylor Athletics Hall of Fame induction banquet November the 1st at the Hurd Welcome Center. We have another outstanding class of inductees this year, including Brittany Griner and Odyssey Sims from women's basketball, Ronnie Allen from track and field, Whitney Cannon Rickenstein from Baylor softball, Mark Cochran from football, Mike from baseball, Nina
Coach
from women's tennis, and
nice
from men's basketball.
Ask him when he's going to get a real non-conference schedule.
2013.
That'll be your question.
It is
Friday.
It's insane.
6:30 p.m. in the Hurd Welcome Center Grand Ballroom. Tickets and table sponsorships are available by going to BaylorBears.com/HOF. That's BaylorBears.com/HOF. Hope you can join us November 1st for the Baylor Athletics Hall of Fame induction banquet. Sikkim Bears.
Are you a proud Baylor fan? Do you love prizes? The Baylor Sports app allows fans to track their attendance across athletic events and earn points using Baylor Bold Rewards. Baylor Athletics wants to reward the most loyal fans for cheering on the Bears, so register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com or download the Baylor Sports app straight to your phone. Prizes this year are better than ever, so start earning your points today. Hey Baylor fans, Baylor soccer season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Betty Lou Mays Field all season long and watch head coach Michelle Lenard and the Bears battle against the best in the Big 12. Score your tickets for game day right now at BaylorBears.com/tickets. We'll see you at Betty Lou. Sic 'em Bears.
From the Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Studios, this is KRZI Waco, K222DC Waco, K265DV Temple, ESPN Central Texas. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
National Bank. Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Health Tip of the Week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. Folks, join me in welcoming Baylor men's basketball coach Scott Drew with us on the Baylor Coaches Show. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. How's your world these days? We're less than a month away from tipping off the new season.
Actually, this is one of your busier times of the year from the standpoint we got the Texas tour going on. We got the radio, the Rudy show going on. You got recruiting going on, and we're getting ready for season. So a lot of excitement, a lot of good things happening right now. So far, practices have gone well. Guys are getting better, and these practices are really important, as you know, because we start out the gate really strong.
Yeah.
So you better be ready to go.
I would say, Aaron, who's running the board for us, says, hey, why don't you beef up your non-conference schedule? Gonzaga, Arkansas, UConn's in there. Man, what a tough schedule.
Yeah, the old commercial, where's the beef?
That's right.
That doesn't apply to us.
No. I mean, like, first rattle out of the box, Gonzaga in your season opener.
Yeah, there was a poll I saw today that someone had him number 2.
Oh.
And, again, they return a lot of guys. So especially early in the year, they're even better. So that'll be a great test for us, and we'll see just what we need to work on, what we have to improve on, and then hopefully get ready for Arkansas.
Yeah. Arkansas coached by, John Calipari, who was at, Kentucky. I think it goes without saying, but, Coach, we are so glad you're still here. So
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Heck, yeah. We wouldn't want to do Baylor basketball without you. So we're glad you're here, and it is a tough non-conference schedule. Hey, away from your team in the schedule for a minute, you spoke yesterday at a memorial service for Carol Dawson. And from what I've heard, it was just a tremendous service.
Yeah, Pastor Dwayne Brooks really did a great job, and it was kind of a different message than I've heard from the standpoint. It was made you think for a second. He said, "What was CD's Carol Dawson's greatest day? Was it the 2 championships they won with the Rockets? Was it the championship we won in 2021? Was it the 4 championships that he won with the Comets, or was it the day that he met Jesus?" So, and at the end of the day, he has nothing but great days now.
Wow.
So no bad days.
Gosh, that's great. And just what a great guy. I mean, such a great representative of Baylor and the Rockets and anything he touched, really.
Well, somebody that, he whatever room he walked in, he made it a lot brighter. And his one-liners, he could have been a comedian because he was the best. I remember early on, I would always call him as we were building the program, and he always had a game on, and I'd be like, "What score?" And he'd be like, 80-70. And I said, "Who's winning?" He'd go, "The team with 80."
That's him.
But he was the man of one-liners. And the great thing is everyone knows he's an unbelievable golfer. I joked at the funeral. He's probably already played 36. He's 2 under, and there's no lightning up there.
Wow, no lightning, no delays whatsoever.
Because CD got struck by lightning.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So Yao Ming was actually at the funeral, flew all the way back from China just to show you how important and what CD meant to him. And several other Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon, and a lot of people that he spent time with. But Yao said, I didn't know anything about golf. I get invited to the golf outing with CD. They partner. CD picks to partner with me, and his interpreter says, you know he got hit by lightning. That's why he has you, because you're taller than him.
That's great. That's great. Well, it sounded like a great service, and, hopefully best to Sharon, and we're going to miss CD, gosh.
Yes, we are. Great man that life well lived. Touched a lot of lives.
Yeah, very much so. All right, so practices going on for you guys. Everybody healthy right now?
Yeah, so far so good. Langston Love has not been permitted yet to do contact, but he's doing great with his workouts and progressing, and hopefully we get him back soon. But everybody else has been doing knock on wood.
Yeah.
Thanks for the prayers, because so far they've been answered. Everyone's good.
Ooh, that's good. Tell us about the makeup of your roster and some of the new guys that are here with you this year.
You got the roster. We got a bunch of them.
It's a list.
Yeah. Well, I think first and foremost, the Baylor family's really going to enjoy getting to meet the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that we have on the team, really quality young men, great role models. When you talk transfers in the portal, it's hard to get people with more winning experience than Jeremy Roach and Norchad Omir. Both of those guys have been to Final Fours. They've been all-conference nominees, very successful, good students, hard workers, and a great way to start the portal recruiting. Jalen Celestine from Cal Berkeley graduated in 4 years. Another person that was a great student athlete and somebody that a very skilled player that loves to work on his game, great teammate, really fits in well. So couldn't be more pleased with how the portal turned out for us. As far as freshmen go, we were able to bring in VJ Edgecombe, who a lot of people have in the top 10 mock draft for a reason. Very athletic, very talented player, but somebody very capable on the defensive end. He could be the defensive player of the year. So a great athlete and somebody that doesn't need to score to impact the game. Rob Wright was a part of maybe the best high school team to ever play at Mount Verde, maybe one or two from Mount Verde high school teams that went undefeated, and he was the point guard that engineered and ran that team, and actually won Mr. Mount Verde. The coaches joked they didn't even know there was that award, but that's the most popular student, basically, most likable student in
not
the
just
school.
athletics, right?
And that's voted by all the students.
Wow.
So great young man, stranger to none, and somebody everyone will like getting to know. And then you look at Jason Asamoto, somebody that has really worked hard and come a long way since he's been here, and he has a bright future ahead of him.
Very cool. All right, that looks great. We got a lot of questions from the audience. Let's take a break, and we'll get to those to make sure we have enough time for everybody's question. Coach Scott Drew with us on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We'll be right back to Rudy's right after this.
Are you ready for the action-packed experience of Baylor volleyball? Come watch the Bears all season long at the Farrell Center as the team battles to bring home another Big 12 Conference championship to Waco. Secure your seats at BaylorBears.com/tickets and come be a part of the action courtside. Youth teams can also sign up to be Anthem Buddies and join the team on the court before first serve by emailing fan_engagement@baylor.edu. We'll see you at the Farrell Center, and sick 'em Bears.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Presented by Central National Bank. We appreciate everyone that is here, everyone listening tonight, everyone watching on the Baylor Athletics YouTube channel. Continuing with Coach Scott Drew, Baylor basketball season begins less than a month. November 4th is that season opener we were talking about in Spokane against Gonzaga. Hey, and that Arkansas game is November 9th at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. We need Baylor people there.
Yes, we do. You know, a lot of people from the Metroplex drive down to support us. This is our turn to drive up to there. And American Airlines Arena, great place to watch a game. But we know Arkansas will have a lot of fans. We need to have a lot of Baylor fans there.
Arkansas will have people there. So put that on your calendar. It's November 9th. It's an open date for Baylor football. So just plan a trip to Dallas for Baylor basketball versus Arkansas. All right, Coach, questions from the audience. I'll let you preview these. These are some good ones. These are really good questions. Let's begin with Damon Crump. Damon is right back there. He asked who will likely lead the team in points and rebounds this season.
Well, the points part, hopefully that's something that is different each and every night, because it's a lot harder to prepare for a team that has 2, 3, 4 different people capable of scoring double figures. Our best teams have had 5 or 6. So the points, hopefully that's spread out. As far as rebounds go, Josh, you hope, takes a step forward. And Norchad is somebody that averaged 10 rebounds a game since he got to the States, so from Nicaragua. So I would think one of those two, and VJ's an outstanding rebounder as well. But hopefully we are balanced, and it's not just one person.
Yeah, very good. Didn't you have 6 guys last year average double-digit points?
We had like 4 to 6 the last several years.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
That's why the last 13 years our offense has been top 25, 12 out of those 13 years.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, question from Roy right here. Roy asked, as you continue to get players from around the world, are you going to hire a linguist for your team?
No, that's why we put numbers on the back of jerseys. So in practice, we got numbers. By the way, he does have the nicest penmanship, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yeah. Roy, very nice handwriting. So you win the prize for that tonight, Roy. Thank you. Is this Karen or Karina? I'm sorry. Karina, all right, thank you. Karina says, who is the player on this team that fans will be talking about the most by the end of the season?
Well, we have several that I think you're really going to enjoy, because they got great personalities. But probably if you're asking who's capable of having the most Sports Center moments, last year Eve, Missy had a lot of them. And I think VJ is somebody that seems like every 2 or 3 days in practice he's got a dunk or a play that you're like, that would have a chance to be on Sports Center.
Yeah, very nice. All right, Karina, thank you very much. Ben Hagens asked who is the best leaper or jumper on this team now, and and also in the past. Who's the best jumper you've coached?
So notice how we put that nice transition back to back. So this year I would think VJ would probably be there. But I tell you, if you look in the past, Pierre Jackson at 5'10", I don't know if many people got up as high as him. You could go back to Deuce Bello. You could go back to Mark Vidal. Both of those guys in high school were part of the Boost Mobile dunk contest, I believe. And There's a couple others. Quincy Acey definitely could rattle that
yeah.
rim. Anybody that gets 10 dunks in a game, that's pretty impressive.
That's right. That's who I was thinking. He had a
Versus
birthday.
Texas, by the way.
Yeah, he had a birthday recently, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And so
he's still dunking.
Yes, and we were reminiscing about that 10-dunk game he had against Texas. All right, Brent Grooms. Brent's right here. Brent asked who has made the biggest leap in fall camp so far?
Well, that's really a tough question. And why I say that is because we really have had a lot of guys that have worked really hard. And when you have so much turnover, then as people adjust to what you're doing schematically, but also how you lift, how you condition, you do see normally the first year in a program, you see a lot of jumps. And unfortunately, we got a ton of the first-year guys, so you're seeing a lot of jumps from a lot of people where normally you're only having 3, maybe 4 new guys, and out of that, maybe 2 or a couple years away. So it's easy to pick who's jumped the most because when you first get to a campus, you usually take a bigger jump. So I don't mean to discard that. I just think, I mean, we've had so many guys, like let's just take Norchad, for instance. He lost 15 pounds and really improved not only his body but his shooting by countless hours in the gym. Rob Wright was right there with him on hours in the gym, and somebody that's really improved physically and shot-wise. I can go up and down the list. So that's a good problem to have. A lot of gym rats, a lot of hard workers.
Norchad is a specimen, isn't he?
Yeah, you don't want to get screened by him.
Yeah, no, he would set a screen.
Him and Rico Gathers have a lot in common.
Oh, that's a good comparison. Very good. All right, question from Bob Barrett. Bob's right here. Tell us about the recruiting of Rob Wright. You talked about that a little bit. What does he bring to the team?
Well, Rob's somebody that is really fast, one of the fastest guards in college basketball, but an elite point guard. We feel the best point guard in his class. So somebody that really can get in the paint, can really make his teammates better, and at the same time can score himself. Like most freshmen, the biggest adjustment is on the defensive end, the physicality, and a lot of that's because in high school things are called closer, and you can't get in foul trouble. But somebody that's a joy to coach, and he really works hard. I mean, he spends an enormous amount of time in the gym, and you have to do that if you want to improve at what you do.
Yep, very good. Thank you, Bob. Greg Jurls is right back there. Hey, Greg, good to see you. Well, he asked, with the rise of one-and-done players, do you plan toward their skill set or focus on incorporating their skills into a team scheme?
Well, I think and not just one-and-dones, but nowadays with the NIL, really it's a one-year plan with everybody, and then you don't know who's going to come back, turn pro, transfer, whatnot. So really what we try to do is improve their overall fundamentals and what this is our system, offensively, defensively, what you have to do to play for us, but then at the same time really not to spend as much time on the weaknesses, but make sure that whatever their strengths are, that we do the best job as coaches in utilizing those. And when you have a player 3 or 4 years, you can spend time really working on those weaknesses. But when you got 8-9 months, you got to maximize what their strengths are.
Yeah. Very good. Isn't it a different philosophy this year? I mean, we're used to bring a guy in, and it was a 3 or 4 or 5 year plan for him and counted on him being there. Now it's kind of a 8 or 9 month plan.
Yeah. Well, and the great thing is things always evolve. They always change. You can complain about it or you can adjust.
Yeah.
And we've always tried to adjust as quick as we can and be on the cutting edge. So with us, we try to simplify what we do offensively, defensively, make things easier to grasp, understand, because the sooner the guys learn what you're wanting them to do, the more they have freedom to play and utilize their God-given talents and abilities.
Terrific. All right, one more question from John Jackson. John asked, what word would you use to describe the personality of this year's team?
Ooh, one word.
Now it's November.
Yeah. 2 or 4 or 4. Hopefully winning or championship.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I really do feel our staff's done a great job in bringing in people that represent the culture of Baylor University and Baylor basketball, and it's been a joy so far working with these guys. Now, we haven't hit any adversity. We haven't had a close loss or a losing streak or anything, but a lot of high character guys. And when you have that, you got a chance to be successful. So we'll see how things go with the ups and downs of the season. But they are one of the harder working group of bunch of teams we've had. So if that work ethic continues, they're going to keep improving. If they keep improving, you got a chance to win the last game.
Love it. That's great. All right, let's take a break. Back with more in a moment. Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach. The season less than a month away. We'll continue with Coach Drew on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank.
Elevate your lifestyle with a Baylor Club membership. Enjoy unparalleled access to our exclusive lounge area located in the heart of McLean Stadium. Membership with the Baylor Club means you're part of a vibrant community where networking and forging lasting connections is as easy as a smile and a handshake. Indulge in members-only events and personalized service that caters to your every need. For those extra special moments, host your private events with us. Contact the Baylor Club membership or private events team at 254-710-8080.
This is Elise McGee with Baylor Volleyball, and this is my story. Trying to balance faith, school, and volleyball has felt at times impossible. Having people around you that point you to God and His truth, I feel, is something unique at Baylor. God surrounded me with coaches, teammates, professors, and staff that intertwine Him in lives. My name is Elise McGee, and this is my Champions Tribune.
Read more Champions Tribune at BaylorBears.com.
The Toyota Tundra's powerful, available iForce V6 engine means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. To your neighbor, it means helping them with their new chainsaw carving hobby.
What do you think of this thing, eh? It's a bearfish birdman wood carving, if I've ever seen one.
To your cousins, the Tundra means as they jump off the boat onto the sandbar.
Now watch this flip.
No, don't. You're gonna...
Cannonball!
Definitely new.
To your co-pilots, the Tundra means an extra comfortable journey.
I can just...
You sure can.
And to you, the Tundra means... whoa. Toyota is a proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Now this is a bare necessity. From tailgating to sailgating, the 2025 Tundra is built to take you wherever the road leads, on game day and beyond. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Basketball coach Scott Drew. And, Coach, you mentioned your staff last segment. You've got a few changes on your staff, but, man, what a great group you've assembled there.
Well, feel blessed. We had some great coaches that had opportunities, which means that we're doing a good job here, and people want what we're doing with our program at their place. So that's a good honor for the guys that got promotions or had opportunities to leave. And then if you look at Bill Armstrong, somebody that coached Jacoby Walters, somebody that helped him become the man, the player that he was when he got to Baylor, but somebody that knows a lot about the young kids, because he won a Geico National Championship and really that top Nike circuit.
Wow.
He's competed against, knows all them. Coaching-wise, known for an outstanding defensive coach, somebody that helped LSU to have a top 10 defense in the nation, coached at UAB, Ole Miss, and somebody that our fans will get a chance to. He's got a number of kids in the community and great people. As far as Steve Henson, a longtime assistant coach at Oklahoma with Lon Kruger. We competed against them for a number of years, and great respect for him. And somebody played professionally and coached professionally for a year, and then has been in the Big 12 a long time, and then was a head coach at UTSA and did a good job down there, and some tough circumstances, and somebody that offers a lot of wisdom and experience. And Melvin Hunt, somebody that was at Baylor, 87 to 91, and then left us for the NBA, helped teach Kobe and LeBron everything they know, and Trey Young, and then now was a head coach with the Denver Nuggets. So somebody that has a lot of experience, and his daughter helped lead our volleyball team to a Final Four appearance. She works at Highland Church, and those three are great additions.
Yeah, very cool. Great additions. You got a great staff there. How about we're in Foster Pavilion. We played games in Foster Pavilion last year when it was still basically a construction zone. I mean, the arena part was finished, and it worked out great, and I thought it was a great home court advantage. Yeah. But now the Allison Development Center portion, your offices, weight room, practice gyms, that's all complete now.
Well, it was like Christmas for us at the end of July, beginning of August, as we moved in and got everything organized, situated. Before that, we just showed up and played games at the Foster and then came back to the Farrell Center. So that's been a blessing. Our players have loved the new amenities, and they're there in the morning. They're there before and after practice, and probably at night. So they really enjoyed all the new things that they get to, new toys they get to play with.
Man, it is great. It is fabulous. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it very much. Look forward to the start of the season.
Well, thank you, and thanks for the great questions tonight, and can't wait to see you. Remember, we need to see you in Dallas, if possible, November 9th, and then our first game will be November 17th at home.
Very nice. Coach, thanks very much. Coach Scott Drew, Baylor basketball. We'll be back to wrap things up live from Rudy's right after this.
It's the biggest blockbuster on the Brazzes, and you don't want to miss the premiere of Baylor women's basketball at brand new Foster Pavilion for the upcoming season. The Bears provide an elite atmosphere and return to the court with head coach Nikki Collin at the helm and another Sweet 16 appearance under their belts. The Foster Pavilion lets you be closer to the action, so help us fill the Foster with green and gold by getting your women's basketball season tickets today at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local
30 seconds.
Baylor Athletics. Find out more Central Texas.
Need me to count it down, or?
TFNB, their bank for life.
Sure.
Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hey Baylor fans, group experiences are back for the 2024 football season. Fans can purchase exclusive experiences online and on the Baylor Sports app. Baylor football experiences include on-field photos, sideline access during warm-ups, tunnel access during the team run-out, an in-game radio booth experience with the voice of the Bears, a birthday bash, and so much more. There is limited availability, so purchase your experience today at BaylorBears.com/group experiences or the Baylor Sports app to lock in your one-of-a-kind game day experience today.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Just enough time to wrap things up on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. We appreciate everyone that is here tonight, everyone watching, everyone listening. We'll be back next Wednesday. Remember, Baylor soccer in action twice at home this week. Tomorrow night against Arizona State, 7 o'clock, and then Sunday in their home season finale against West Virginia at 1 p.m. We appreciate you being with us here at Rudy's this evening. We'll be back next Wednesday, but for now, good night